Okay. Okay, good afternoon. Okay, so the purpose of this session is what kind of strategy, approach you should adopt or inherent in order to clear the mains, especially to score good marks in the GS paper 1. Okay, so because I mean to say many people, many aspirants who are able to crack the prelims, which is actually considered as the toughest, because the ratio for the filtration is almost, I told you, right, 7 lakhs people are giving an attempt. In that only 10,000, 12,000 people are actually going to write the mains. So when compared to the mains, prelims is actually the very toughest. That is the reason, because of the prelims only, it is considered as the very world's one of the toughest exam. Okay, so the ratio in prelims is very, very, less. I mean to say 8 lakhs people are going to write the exams of prelims, and only 12,000 or 13,000 according to the post they give. So my point here is the people who are actually clearing the prelims, definitely they have the enough good content, then only they will clear the prelims, no doubt. So the people who are competing all India level with the so much very qualified persons of India, because the people who are actually chosen to in order to study, not able to crack, even to study, preparation for the UPSC is nothing but they are good enough in the studies, in the academy, obviously, right? So the people who are good enough in the studies, good enough in the academy, according to my knowledge, those are the people who are actually choose the UPSC kind of things. So definitely in these 8 lakhs people which I am saying right now, these 8 lakhs people are actually good studied people only in their past, in their academy. So they have the people, and in that 8 lakhs people, only 12,000 people are able to clear the prelims according to the ratio 12 to 13,000 or 13,500 and all. So my point is the people who are actually clearing the prelims, they have the very, very good enough content with all respect of the GSC. All the general studies content, they have the just good enough things. Then why these people are not able to crack the mains? Because in the mains, for example, if there is 800 posts, they are going to take 2.5. 1 is to 2.5. I mean to say only 2,000 people or 2,500 people. That is actually the boundary. Not more than 2,500 people are actually going to take the interview. So what actually stopping them? What is the barrier to these people who are good enough, having the good enough content, but not able to crack the mains? To be precise, they are good enough in the content, but not good enough in the presenting the answer. Okay, so I told you number of times in the mains why the UPSC chosen, not only for the UPSC, even for the group 1 in the states, which is considered the highest in the states. Even for the best category exams in India, the majority kind of scores you will get through the only writing process. Even in the prelims, out of the 200 questions, the marks is 200. Even 200 out of 200, you got the marks. Still, it is just qualifying in nature. It is just qualifying in nature, no doubt. For example, you take Tina Dabi, All India first ranker. She cracked the prelims. She just cleared the prelims with 0.26 marks, not 1 mark. With 0.26, with the marks, she just cleared the prelims, but she got the All India first rank, to be precise. Okay, so my point here is the people who are getting good score in the prelims, doesn't matter, is just qualifying in nature. The lion's share of the marks in the entire process you will get through only by the writing process. Why writing process? Why the writing? Why the mains given the lion's share for all this process? Because 1750 marks in the mains. What is the marks for the UPSC? For the mains, 1750. 1750 is actually the lion's share of the marks. In prelims, out of 100, if you got 200 marks, but still it is just qualifying. It's just qualifying. Even those candidates who got the highest marks, those people not enough to clear even the mains, believe me. because they are literally speaking, they are lacking the skills of writing. Why such a, if you ask me, why sir only writing, only the mains given the highest marks in the entire any kind of exams for the group and even for the UPSC is, why the writing given the main priority? Why is the candidate who having the content for the prelims is the same candidate, right, who is going to write the mains? So he have the enough content. If this is also the exam, right, if the persons who are scoring high marks in this exam, did they don't have the knowledge? Why these people are completely neglected? Why it is considered as just qualifying in nature? Why such a kind of high marks is given to the mains? Why writing plays the main important role in the mains is, simply speaking, to put in a simple paraphrase, to put in a simple precise is, writing will make one thought process clear. Many people having the content, but they are not good enough to present it on the paper. Okay, they have the good skills. In the class, if I ask you a question, they will give you the answer. Whatever the question I ask you, they will give the answer. But they are, what actually lacking them is, they are not able to provide the good answer, which is enough for the examiner to qualifying it, to suitability, to pursuing it. He is not happy. Because even though it looks just mains answer writing, it includes many elements. It includes many elements. You have to cover the vast amount of the syllabus. And that too with the word limit. Within the word limit, within the limited pages, within the limited syllabus. So kind of writing will require a lucid way of explanation, a legible writing. That too effective way of presentation. Some people will write in a very different way, in a in a paragraph manner. Some people write in a bullet points manner. And some people, in order to highlight the points, they will underline the things. Some people, if this is the main page, what they will do is, they will write the definition and all. What are the important points, they put in a table. If the examiner going through the question paper, he will first highlight this point. Okay, good, okay. They know how to highlight the body of the answer which is suitable for the question. They know it, how to highlight it. And how to make the difference from the co-fellow aspirants answer writing from their own answer writing. So that is what it includes, many important elements. That is what, first of all, no need of good writing, neat writing, good writing, no. Simply speaking, a legible writing which is suitable to read is enough. And next thing is, of course, if it is very good handwriting, definitely the examiner who is actually going to correct the question paper, definitely he feels somewhat easier. He feels somewhat easy. For example, a person who have the major content, who have the good enough content, but he is not actually having the very good handwriting. A person who having the very good content as well as he is good enough in presenting the answer with good handwriting. Definitely I feel very comfortable with this answer. I definitely do not feel, even though it is good enough content, then this paper, and it is making easy for me to correct the paper, definitely I will show somewhat tilt, a kind of biased manner. Because of the handwriting, I will give 1 mark extra, 2 marks extra. For example, if one question I will give 1 mark extra, in the entire GS paper there are 20 questions, he will get in question paper, in one question paper will get how many marks? 20 marks. Definitely this person will be going to be out of the race. So that is what mains answer writing definitely will play the role. It is playing the crucial role. So first of all, many people actually more worry about the covering the content, knowing the content, remembering the content, mugging the content. But believe me, more than mugging the content, more than knowing the things, with the decent way of learning, you can easily crack the mains, especially UPS. Because he clearly told GS 1 paper, general studies 1, no need of special knowledge. A 10th, intermediate kind of NCERT's knowledge is more than enough. But except for the optional, definitely for the optional you need more than degree standard. It is the highest, no barriers for the optional. Even the PhD qualified candidate who, for example, a candidate is there, who he done a PhD in the Mughals, he done a PhD in history. Even though it is suitable for a person who do not have any PhD in the history, but he has the very interest in history, he studied many kind of books. He can represent that kind of knowledge in all the, in the UPSC answer writing. So optional do not need any kind of barriers, and definitely you need more than degree standard knowledge in the optional. But remaining all the papers, whether it is geography, history, polity, economy, environment, current affairs, society, disaster management, science and technology, internal security, I mean to say general science, even the international, all these kinds of paper you need just intermediate kind of. The highest 12th standard NCERT is more than enough. More than enough. Seriously, that is the reason general studies one. Even though I am a history faculty, I have the profound knowledge in the history. Definitely I should know my boundaries in order to fit in the general studies. I should not present my complete history skills in the general studies paper one, because it is outdated. No need such a kind of depth of for the answers for that question. Definitely that is the reason in the first, even though I am a history optional student, in the first mains answer writing, when I cleared the prelims, I meant to say in the 2020, in the first mains, I thought I will get the good marks in GS paper 1, because obviously history is covering the 75 to 100 marks. But I got in the entire 250 marks, I got just 78 marks. I overwhelmingly presented the entire history. Beyond the boundaries I went, completely going into the deep of the skin of the history. And when I went to the, I meant to say faculty and all, why? No need. General studies paper 1 approach should be in a general way. Seriously, in a general way. And that is the reason NCERT 12th standard is more than enough for any kind of thing. But it should be interlinked with the current affairs. No question in the mains, I repeat, mark my word which I am going to say. No question in the mains will be asked without the relevance of current affairs, including the history. History is considered as so much static, very, very static, right? I told you a number of times, Ashoka will not come again, Akbar will not come again, Alauddin Khilji will not come again. Once you studied, once you done with the history, it is nothing but it is done. No need of current affairs, nothing going to be added. For example, you take polity, for example, you take economy, every time you will get the economic survey. Every time you will get the budget, polity, Supreme Court judgment with respect to the fundamental rights and DPSPs. That should be added to the subject. For example, you take societies, recent kind of things, any kind of changing patterns. For example, you take any kind of a bedroom culture, mobile bedroom culture, a kind of new term they are evolving. You take disaster management, including the geography, there is such kind of, tsunamis, earthquakes, they will be nailed. But believe me, what is the relevance for the current affairs for the history? Such a kind of very static subject, which is very considered as the highest static in the entire general studies paper, even the history mains questions are actually definitely in the limelight questions only they are going to ask. Any question in the mains without current affairs relevant, don't ask. Mark my words, I bet you. Especially for the last 5-6 years. If there is a question in the geography, polity, economy, environment, you name it, including the ethics, every question, every definition in the ethics, because first of 10 questions will be in the definition, next questions will be the case studies, right? Even that questions also, definitely believe me, will be relevance of only limelight issues will be asked. So that is what you are studying the static along with must be interlinked with the current affairs. That is more than enough. But what actually you have to develop is, especially for the mains, is you have to daily answer writing, fast answer writing. Now those days are gone, only learning is more than enough. No. Writing the content, I mean to say, if you are learning the content for 10 pages, it should be right in a just one page. Okay, you are giving more content in less words, in very less words. That is the reason he given limited pages. For example, if you take in 2013, the CSAT was introduced, 2 optional was removed, only 1 optional. And he came with what? Only limited words. And after few years, what he done? Limited pages. If it is 20 marks, 3-4 pages. If it is 10 marks, I mean to say 2 pages. That's it. Even though you have more content, no. Whatever the content you had, please present it on the paper, but with the limited words. So what you should adopt in order to crack the mains, which is actually the 1750 marks, is you have to rewrite the answer. One question answer should be right in many number of times. For example, 10 times, 15 times, but the 15th time you should write a very, very refined answer. There should be a fundamental difference between the first answer writing the first question, the first attempt of the answer, and the 10th and more than 10 times which you wrote the last time answer should be in a very, very different way. That is the only thing. I told you a number of times in the class, seriously, once again I say, prelims is just qualitative, mains is quantitative. It's up to your skill. Some people even don't know the answer, but they know how to present it on the answer in a very decent way. Believe me. Some people, you know exactly is Ashoka Dhamma is relevant to Buddhist Dhamma. They know the Ashoka Dhamma, they know the Buddha Dhamma. But is it related or not, they don't know. The question is asking, is it related or not? But believe me, with their writing skills, even though they know the answer, they don't know the answer. But if you see the answer writing their skills, seriously you will hats off. They will convince in such a way that, okay, he knows somewhat content with related to the Ashoka Dhamma and Buddhist Dhamma. They will convince in such a way. That is what kind of the writing skills they will adopt in the due course of time. And the writing skills will not improve just in 1 month, 2 months. Believe me, more than 6 months, 1 year. Believe me, the people who are saying in the social media, in the newspaper, in the news channels and all, just within 1 year, first attempt I cleared. But believe me, yes, even though it is their first attempt, but definitely in this field, in this preparation, they had spent more than 1.5 years. Then only in the first attempt it will be possible. Otherwise, within the first attempt, it will not be possible for those candidates. So when it comes to the history, so that is what my intention is, what kind of things you have to adopt for the mains. So definitely hard work only, writing, and fast writing with eligible answer writing and pictographic presentation. So let's come to the history. So yes, even in the GS, actually the most toughest paper in the entire GS papers is GS1 paper because of the vast syllabus. GS1 paper included what? GS1 paper consisting geography plus history plus society, of course disaster management. I agree, this is the very, compared to less syllabus. Indian geography, world geography, and history, Indian history as well as world history. This is what actually vast syllabus when compared to society disaster. Definitely society and disaster management syllabus when compared to these two syllabuses very less. And that is the reason they will play the, when it comes to a history, almost you will definitely get the 75 to 80 marks out of 250 marks. What is the weightage for the each paper in the mains, UPSC mains? Every question paper carries the 250 marks. Of course, for the optional it is one paper is 250, second paper is 250, completely 500. So total mains is 1750. Within the 1750, the GS1 paper weightage is the same 250 marks, but the history score is 75 to 80 marks, and the remaining is geography, society and disaster management. But believe me, this is the minimum weightage. This is the minimum. If you go to the 2021, it reached up to 90 to 95 weightage. Because history, a very vast syllabus they covers. Very vast syllabus they will cover. And within the history, in the GS1 paper, within the history, ancient, medieval, modern, and post-independence, plus the world history. This is what actually a headache for many aspirants. Because of the vast syllabus is the main reason many people unable to score in the GS1. GS2 they will get the 100, 110 easily marks. And third paper, fourth paper, even GS third paper as well as GS fourth paper. But in the GS1 paper, because of the history syllabus only, because of the vast syllabus, they are not able to score. And they are considered that getting 95 marks is more good marks in the GS1 paper. What making it is very difficult? What making to get good marks, actually, what stopping them in order to get the good marks in the GS1 paper is, definitely I can say GS1 paper is consisting the vast syllabus. So they are not unable to provide the, judicious allocation of time. For example, you take geography, vast syllabus, history, vast syllabus, society, less syllabus. And society, I told you, every question is related to, in the mains is related to limelight issues. So they will compile the complete 18 months, the 12 months. No question in the mains without, in the limelight of 15 months or 18 months they are going to ask. Not to 2 years back question. Not, I mean to say, just 3 years back. Only it should be in the limelight, definitely 15 months. In the worst cases, 18 months. That 18 months complete limelight issues, current affairs issues should be asked in the Mains. Okay, so society is completely limelight issues only asked, and disaster management is obviously, even though it is you think it is core, definitely it is more relevant to dynamics topics. For example, if you are witnessing any floods, for example, this time what is the high topic? Heat waves. Heat waves. Do states heat waves comes under which topic? I mean to say, what are the any kind of what measures you will take in order to, you know, what kind of measures India should be taken in order to prevent the heat waves in the future course of action? Is it is linked to the developmental activities? So is heat waves are actually related to the developmental activities of India, and such kind of questions? Definitely, even the disaster management questions will be asked related to limelight issues only. So that is very microscopic topics. When it comes to the geography, of course, Indian geography, very precise syllabus. For example, in the geography, you definitely know regarding the what, for example, river system. For example, you take, you know, particularly about the, you know, geographical regions, particularly about the climate and all. And you know the special areas, plate tectonic theory, and more about the what, epirogeny, hydrogeny, what kind of rainfall, even those are also limelight issues. But what kind of history is, it is very vast, but in the ancient and medieval, what you have only art and culture. Without knowing it, what these people will cover complete syllabus of ancient and medieval complete. No, he is very clear. Ancient medieval only consisting the art and culture part only. What they will do is, in order to, I mean to say, what actually they think is, they even study about the polity, administration, even they care about the battles, just like the how they studied the prelims. In the same manner, they will repeat the entire syllabus of the ancient medieval. Seriously speaking, no, there is clear cut special areas which you have to focus on the art and culture of ancient and medieval. For example, you take, if you ask me, Indus Valley civilization. We are already discussed in the classes. In the entire end of the every chapter of the ancient India, medieval India, modern India, we will discuss about the art and culture. That part is more than enough. Seriously, you take only art and culture of every chapter should be covered. Nothing to do with the polity, nothing to do with the administration, nothing to do with the political history of any personality, nothing to do with the sources. It is very clear, ancient medieval art and culture only. If you see the past year's papers are also, he is just asking about the art and culture only. Next thing is what? Modern. Modern, of course, you have the complete syllabus. No doubt. In the prelims complete, in the mains complete, even the modern Indian history syllabus you will going to cover in the even in the interview also, in the personality test also, the modern India will play the crucial role. Because we are in the time of Amrit Kal. I mean to say, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, by the 2022, India celebrated 75 years of independence. And I said up to 10 years, this fear will be in India, related to every scheme. This Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav will be in the limelight for almost 10 years. And that is the reason even in the last year also, the Ministry of Culture released a textbook, released a compilation of a text with respect to all the freedom fighters who contributed for the national movement and all. So definitely, and what they are actually quoted for the last year text also, it is the edition of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So how it will play the crucial role in the personality test, I mean to say in the interview is, definitely they will ask the questions related to what is your birthday related to any kind of greatest moment in the Indian history, especially with respect to the national movement. For example, some people birthday will related to the birthday of freedom fighter, related to Gandhi, Ambedkar, Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal, even Bhagat Singh, such kind of things. Even some kind of people birthday will be related to what launch of nation, I mean to say Vande Mataram movement, non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement. So he definitely will ask you a surprise question, even such a surprise question he asked, but if you give you a gunshot answer, definitely he will be surprised. What it means, for example, he asks you, is your birthday related to any historical moment in the national movement or Indian history? You will say, yes sir, my birthday is related to what? My birthday is same birthday with respect to the Aurobindo Ghosh or Bipin Chandra Pal. Definitely will surprise. Oh, that means what? You are prepared for the interview in the complete 360 degree. Then only you will give such a gunshot answer. Is your birthday related to any kind of historical moment in the nation? Yes sir, my birthday is actually on my birthday only the national non-cooperation movement was started. Quit India movement started. So it's a kind of what he is asking. He thought that it is a surprise question, but if you are giving a gunshot answer, what does it mean? No, he prepared in all the angles. So that is what, okay, such kind of person definitely required in the bureaucracy of India. Definitely he will show such a kind of bias, a kind of tilt. That is what. So that is what modern India will play a crucial role in the prelims as well as in the mains as well as in the interview. But in the modern India, obviously in the 75 marks you will get the 30 to 35 marks. I told you, right, 75 to 80 marks in the mains, right? Modern India will goes to place the 30 to 35 marks, and post independence 1 mark, just one question, and world history and post in the entire UPSC syllabus. The only part which having the less syllabus but highest weightage is post independence. Seriously, many people post independence think that India Pakistan war, India China war, first 5-year plan, second 5-year plan, agriculture revolution, nothing to do. The syllabus is very clear. Post consolidation of India, linguistic reorganization of India. That's it. The syllabus is very clear. Post independence consolidation of India. That means what? How the states were formed. I mean to say how the princely states were integrated with the Indian Union. And next thing is what? Linguistic reorganization of India. That means what? How the states were formed and how the states are ongoing forming, because recently Telangana formed and there is so much separate state demand in the countries. So that is what? Very precise syllabus, very short syllabus. You will get definitely 1 mark on that to 15 marks. That to 15 marks. But what people will do is they will go through the complete, post and when they think that everything they will study. I mean to say India Pakistan war, India Bangladesh war, India China war, agriculture revolution, first 5-year plan, second 5-year plan, everything they will study. No, the syllabus is very clear. You have to study about how the princely states of India, 563 princely states were how merged with the Indian Union by the contribution of the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Next thing is what? How the linguistic states were formed. How the language will become the central pillar in order to form the states in India. And how this continuation formation of the states even traces back to now. Because recently the Jammu Kashmir state is formed into 2 Indian Union territories. So that is what everything. So point here is very short syllabus, but world history. Very, very vast syllabus, but point here is only 1 question. That too, if you see the pattern, 2020, no question. 2021, 1 question. 2022, no question. 2023, 1 question. 2024, no question. 2025, they are given question. 2026, they are given question. So that is what, even though world history covers the vast syllabus, I agree, world history is consisting about everything. I mean to say Italian unification, German unification, American revolution, American independence, industrial revolution, everything they will cover. But the point here is that is also just vast syllabus, but point here is only 1 question. My point here is why I am giving the weightage for the mains is you have to allocate the time according to the weightage. According to the weightage. Some people what they will do, I never studied about the world history. They don't cover about the modern and all. They will go through on studying about the world history, because world history what? There is no world history not in the prelims, but only in the mains. So what they will do, world history definitely they have the very deficit knowledge. They don't have the knowledge in the world history. So what they will do, they will completely allocate the time for the world history for 1 month. For 1 month. But what is the question they are asking? How many questions they are asking? Only 1 question. So without knowing the weightage, don't give much time for the subjects. That is what actually the pattern. That is what I am actually trying to explain. Okay, so according to the weightage, for example, you are giving much time for the art and culture. Yes, because it is the ancient India consisting very vast syllabus, medieval India consisting the vast syllabus. Of course, even though it is asking about the art and culture, of course it is also consisting vast syllabus. And modern India, everything complete. The 18th century, 17th, 18th, 19th century completely covered in the modern India. It is the vast syllabus. So put major amount of the time in these syllabus. But they will spend so much amount of time on world history. So don't go with. Please go with the specified syllabus. And when it comes to if you see the UPSC pattern, I told you just now, every question is related to limelight issues, current affairs issues. If you see this 2025 question paper, I told you, I given to my mains who are going to write the mains answer in the 2025. For the persons who clear the prelims, I given only 26 questions, entire history, ancient, medieval, modern, post-independence, world history. Within the 25 questions, all the questions come. I given, these are the issues, definitely, I can say, prepare these 25 topics. Definitely, every question with respect to history, within this, specific areas only. They ask you the question. How I predicted such a kind of thing is, what are the limelight issues in the history related things? All those topics were compiled and given to my students. and within this 25 topics only they ask the question. For example, you take in the ancient India, what the question they asked is, in the ancient India, with respect to Harappan architecture, they asked the question. With respect to the Harappan architecture, discuss, that's it. 10 marks question, just explain, discuss about the Harappan architecture, direct question without asking. But what is the relevance asking about the Harappan architecture is, for the past 1.5 years, there is a site called Kiladi located in Tamil Nadu. Even though central government not supported for the state government, that means what? Archaeological Survey of India is actually doing the job of excavating the things about the Kiladi site. In Tamil Nadu, there is a site called Kiladi. So Archaeological Survey of India went to that place and conducted excavation. But the point here is what? They found nothing. I mean to say, they thought that it is not such a kind of valuable site. So no need to worry about this particular site and all. Even though Archaeological Survey of India completely stopped about the excavation with respect to the Kiladi site, Tamil Nadu government, without consenting the Archaeological Survey of India, by taking adamantly, conducted the excavations of Kiladi site. And it became the bone of contention between the central government and state government with respect to which site. What is the issue? That Kiladi site. Why the Tamil Nadu government is taken very prestigiously is, they thought that Kiladi site is actually related to the Harappan site. And they found many art and artifacts related to that Kiladi site, and many scripts of related to Kiladi site was excavated. And that is the reason the former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu last year, he announced 9 crore prize. 9 crore booty, 9 crore prize was announced to the persons who are going to decipher about the Kiladi site IVC script. So what actually they predicted, this Kiladi site script is definitely related to the IVC script. So definitely the persons who are going to who are going to decipher the Kiladi script, I am going to give the 9 crores rupees. That is what actually announcement made by the Tamil Nadu former Chief Minister Stalin, which became so much, the central government is very angry. I mean to say, it is shown discontentment. Why? We are actually stopped the excavation. Why are you taking very adamantly? So you are thinking that it is an Indus Valley civilization, Indus Valley site, Indus IVC site, but it is not IVC site. We are actually, no, it is an IVC site. See these kind of things, it is more than related to. It is pre-Harappan site, actually they are actually taught, I mean to say they are, debated. So point here is, Indus Valley civilization in the limelight, and what is the syllabus we had for the ancient and medieval? Only art and culture. So Indus Valley civilization majorly consisting about the architecture rather than the art, and that is the reason they asked about the architecture. Direct question. So that is what, if you say even the last year question asked about the Akbar's religious syncretism. Explain the features of Akbar's religious syncretism. Why such a question asked? I told you, in the NCERTs, in the last year 2025 NCERTs, for the first time in the NCERTs, Akbar who known for the religious tolerance, Akbar who known for the secularism, that person is actually projected as a bigot ruler, a religious fanatic in the NCERT book. And it became turned into a big controversy in the media. Many kind of, why you are actually mixing the religion with the education? Why you want to project? Already Babur was projected as a religious bigot. You have some evidence. But why you are projecting Akbar as a who known for the secularism, who married many Hindu wives, who married many Hindu persons? Why you are projecting him as a very religious bigot, a kind of religious intolerant person? So Akbar topic became a kind of limelight issue, and which turned into a bone of contention between the media. If you see witness for the past, I mean to say, in that case, when the NCERT actually added the syllabus with respect to the Akbar, projecting him as a religious bigot, a kind of non-secular person, for 1 month, for 1 week, 10 days, completely in the debate. I mean to say, national media is conducting debates with respect to the Akbar character, what kind of thing this is, why the religion is actually adding with the education, is it necessary, or education should be in a free manner, why it is mixed with the politics, what is the role for the politics? I told you to the student, definitely Akbar known for the religious person. Already Akbar's secular character was asked many number of times. Already from the past 2010 to until now, 6 times Akbar's related secular, Akbar religious tolerance question was asked 6 times. I told you this time also repeat the question definitely. The same, explain the Akbar's religious syncretism. So the kind of issues which are in the limelight are actually asking the question. If you see the Khajuraho kind of architecture, I told you Khajuraho Chandela architecture they asked. Definitely in 2024 Khajuraho Dance Festival completing the 50 years. And I mean to say already the mains was over because in the August the mains was conducted. After that they conducted the 50th celebration of Khajuraho Dance Festival. So in 2025 they asked the question, explain the features of Chandela architecture, Chandela art. Nothing but the Khajuraho architecture only they asked. Direct question. The issues in the limelight they asked the question. Even the modern Indian history question, Mahatma Jyotiba Phule question was asked because in Maharashtra, the government, I mean to say in Maharashtra, there was a picture made on Mahatma Jyotiba Phule. A picture was made and which turned into a controversy. Why Jyotiba Phule projected as like that? Because he is not actually belongs to that person. His ideology is different. His objective is different. His goal is different. But in the movie, it's shown in a different way. That is not at all the correct thing. And it went to what so much kind of discussions and debate. Mahatma Jyotiba Phule is in the limelight, and that too socio-religious reform movement is the favorite topic of UPSC. Direct question about the Mahatma Jyotiba Phule. So my point here is whenever you are studying about the mains, only focus on the issues. I can say yes, completely studying about the syllabus okay, but before going into the mains, everybody studies the same thing. I told you right just now, the persons who clear the prelims definitely having the sound knowledge in the GS. Why they are not able to score in the good marks in the GS1 paper is they are actually covering the entire syllabus in the unanimous way, in a uniform way, giving the priority for the same for everything. They are studying the same all the chapters in the general studies manual. But please, you have to prioritize the things. The issues which are actually in the limelight should be more emphasized, should be more prioritized than this thing. Somewhat what if you are dealing with such a kind of limelight issues, definitely it will be retained in your mind and somewhat you will better present way on the paper when compared to the other co-fellow aspirants. So that is what everything, even the world history question, French Revolution. Why the many people thought that okay, all these things are in the limelight, that too related to the Indian history, because all these things are in the limelight with respect to India. Why in the world history question they question asked about the French Revolution? Yes, in 2025 mains question is they asked about the French Revolution. Because in the Madras what happened is the French Revolution, one of the course of the event is Bastille prison event. In Pondicherry, Tamil Nadu region, what they did is students, the Pondicherry University students as well as the Tamil Nadu University students, many students what they did is in the Marina Beach, in the Tamil Nadu coast, in the beach what they conducted is in order to celebrate the Bastille event, almost hundreds of students what they conducted with the torchlight, by wearing the torchlight, they conducted a rally. They conducted a rally in order to commemorate the event of Bastille event, which is one of the course of the event of French Revolution. French Revolution, one of the course event is Bastille prison event. So in order to celebrate the Bastille prison event, the Tamil Nadu region people on the beach, what they conducted is a torchlight, torch bearing, rally and all. A procession, you say, procession kind of things, to celebrate such kind of thing. And which is in the, Hindu articles are all were covered. It is in the limelight. It became a controversy. It is related to France. Why you are celebrating here? What is the need to celebrate the Bastille prison event? These people are given because we adopted the major principle from the French Revolution, that is liberty, equality, fraternity from the French Revolution. We are celebrating. No. If you want to celebrate the French Revolution. Why is such a kind of revolutionary kind of thing? Bastille prison event is nothing but what? They will break the prison and they will release the rebels. So such a kind of things which you should not celebrate and all. So even the French Revolution question is absolutely related to the limelight issues. So that is what you should focus on, the issues which are in the limelight. That is the reason I say mains is absolutely related to the current affairs, and including the history is also not an exception. So definitely what are the, ancient medieval art and culture, even though covers the vast syllabus, but please focus on the issues which are in the limelight, as well as in the modern, as well as in the post-Ind. Post-Ind is very less. I told you right, post-consolidation of India as well as the linguistic reorganization of India. That's it. Nothing more than the syllabus. If you are following through what are the other states asking for the demands, what are the other regions asking for the demands, is it successful or not, is it such kind of phenomena you should adopt or not? Because if you are going to give such a kind of number of states, there are going to be a kind of disintegration of Indian Union and all. Such a kind of questions will be asked. So point here is Even though history covering the vast syllabus, you have to depend upon the only basic sources again. R.S. Sharma, old R.S. Sharma is more than enough. NCERT R.S. Sharma. Seriously speaking, if you go through the NCERT R.S. Sharma, it is more than enough. Old R.S. Sharma. NCERT, old R.S. Sharma, and NCERT old Bipin Chandra, not modern Bipin Chandra. Okay? Satish Chandra, medieval Satish Chandra, modern Bipin Chandra. That too only old NCERT, it is more than enough. But specifically I can say, first time I will refer a person whose name is Nitin Singhania for art and culture. Nitin Singhania, art and of course it is very voluminous. Yes, I agree, it is so much vast, but you have to prioritize. Only selected topics. I mean to say, for example, Indus Valley Civilization, only Indus Valley Civilization related topics. Nothing to do with the music, dance, paintings, more importantly about the, puppetry and all. He covered each and everything, including the UNESCO World Heritage Sites, intangible as well as the cultural sites. Nothing to do, because in the history, art and culture related to the topics. For example, for prehistoric art, going to study. Indus Valley Civilization, go to study. For example, Guptans, go to study. Only selected topics. That is more than enough. Nothing to do with the dance, music, puppetry. No, nothing to do. Okay, only selected topics of the which is related, which is present in the ancient India, medieval India. Please go into study only. Please rely on the only standard sources. R.S. Sharma, NCERT R.S. Sharma, as well as the Satish Chandra, medieval, Bipin Chandra, modern as well as post-independence. Modern as well as post-independence. If you are going through the Tamil Nadu NCERTs, it is more than enough. Okay. So definitely you should adapt to what? You please make the only concise, crispy notes. Don't write in a vast manner. Okay. You should adapt to the habit of effective way of answer writing. Okay. For example, Indus Valley Civilization, don't write in lengthy paper. Okay. Explaining about the citadel. For example, I told you, right? Harappan architecture. You don't write about the Harappan, only one sentence. It is the first civilization in India. And next thing is what? First urbanization in India. And it is one of the earliest civilization in the world. One of the earliest civilization in the world. That is, these three sentences more than enough for the introduction. Because it is 10 marks question. This sentence, 3 sentences more than enough. If you want to write about the no other Bronze Age civilization given such a high priority for the health and cleanliness. Any such kind of point. But it should be not more than 4 lines. It should be not more than 4. Introduction can be anything. Now when it comes to the exactly demand of the architecture, what you have to write about the citadel. You have to write about the citadel. Stone work. Next, drainage system. Next thing is what? Drainage system. Next thing, citadel, stonework, drainage system. Next one, some major monuments or buildings like what? Great Bath, Great Granary. Next one what? Great Bath, Great Granary. And next thing is dockyard. Exactly, dockyard. More than enough. This is more than enough. Many students wrote about the even Harappan art, explaining about the bronze dancing girl, explaining about the bust of beaded piece, explaining about the Pashupati Mahadeva seal. No need to write, because the question is not asking about the art, it is asking about the architecture. Clearly asking about the architecture, but you should write about everything about the what is the principal material used. What is the principal material used? Bricks, and especially for the large monument, burnt bricks with uniform dimensions, with interlocking mechanisms. Whenever you are writing about the architecture, please try to mention about the chief material. What is the material used? Okay, that is more than enough. Explaining about the things, especially about the citadel, stonework, drainage system. Within the 1 page, it is more than enough. Within the 1 page, it is more than enough. That's it. Some people wrote about the what? Explaining the bronze dancing girl. She wear the bracelet, she wear the bangle, she wear the ponytail. Explaining about the features of the bust of the beaded piece. Explaining the features about the Pashupati Mahadeva seal. And even about the mother goddess pinching method. Everything they explained. No need. Actually, many students, I told clear that, I mean to say, they focus on the industrial civilization, art and architecture, but they fail to realize the distinction between the art and architecture. Strictly speaking, some students even they wrote more about the art rather the architecture. Okay, actually they majorly wrote about the art only. Bronze dancing girl, Pashupati Mahadeva. They even projected. They even I mean to say they even projected with the diagram. Not required, only architecture. That too, one page is more than that too 10 marks. That is clear. So please stick to the syllabus. Go with the keywords. Discuss, debate, illustrate, analyze, critically analyze, examine, comment, illustrate. All these things you have to must be very familiar. Generally, it will be easy. Otherwise, some people want to Harappan architecture and all. They don't know about the architecture because they fail to study about art and architecture. What they will explain about the sites, Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Lothal and all. Because they don't have enough idea about the architecture, about the citadel, about the drainage system, or they fail to realize what actually about the architecture. That is what. Please go with the previous kind of questions. Last 5 years question is more than enough. History questions will be repeated but in a different format. Seriously speaking, history questions will be repeated but in a different format. For example, this year they asked about the Harappan architecture. Next year, after 1 year or 2 years, they will going to ask about the Harappan art. Because syllabus is only art and culture only. There is no scope left for the examiner to ask about the question. Within the ancient and medieval, the syllabus has to cover about the only art and culture only. So he has to ask about the prehistoric art, the same Bhimbetka you have to write. Or about the Indus Valley civilization, same bronze dancing, if it is art, architecture, if it like this. Guptans, nothing but temples only. So definitely you can say within the syllabus only, even though it seems very vast, but believe me, if you go to the core of the content, it is very, very less. It is very, very less. So with the precise manner you have to write, and it will comes from the, continuous answer writing. With the continuous answer writing only you will develop the skills. Okay. So that is what. Any queries? How many people wrote prelims this year? How many marks you are getting? You are not with the key. UPSC already provided key, right? Okay, you? You? Okay. Of course, no need to worry because this year somewhat very difficult paper. In fact, for the past 10 years, this is a very difficult paper. Some people, they are comparing this 2026 paper with the 2023 paper, but more than 2023 paper, this is the very toughest paper. This is the very toughest paper, you can say. Okay, definitely cutoff will going to be more than, below 80. Some people even predicting up to 75 will be the cutoff. Okay, so no need to worry. Even though you are unable to, not getting the good marks, please no need to worry. It is the very toughest paper. Even the very experienced faculty in the history not able to solve 2-3 questions. Because he went to very, out of the boundary. His intention is very clear. Actually, every time his questions are majorly on the reliable sources, standard sources only. But this year, no question came from the reliable standard sources. No question from the authenticated sources. Intentionally, he want to create a very difficult paper. That is the reason he selected the questions very randomly. Very randomly. And that too what, within the Vedic civilization, he given 4 questions. He not maintained a kind of judiciary allocation of questions. Polity, 7 questions. Current affairs, more than 33 questions. History, highest questions. After I think 2017, this is the highest questions. How many? 21 questions alone from history. If somebody having the good knowledge in history along with the, I think, current affairs or the science and technology, because S&T got how many? 13 questions or 14 questions. More than enough. Because if you see 36, if you mix science and technology questions as well as the history questions, it will completely mix with 34, 36 questions. So how much will be the score? More than 70. So that is not actually. So he taken some areas very seriously. Some areas are absolutely neglected. Polity is very, very worst this year. Only 7 questions they are given. Every time polity is minimum maintaining the more than 14. Minimum 14 questions they are going to ask for the past 15 years from 2013. But this year only 7 questions, and that too even you see the history. See, history 21 questions. Within the 21 questions, no question from the medieval, no question. Some people interpreting one question with the medieval India, but believe me, it is not related to medieval India. It is related to ancient India only. Okay, no single question from the medieval India. Even in 2018, no single question from the ancient India. In 2018, no question from the ancient India, and this year also no question from the medieval India. Major questions are from the remaining questions are from the ancient, modern. Of course, one question is from the post-independence, including art and culture, guys. Including art and culture. So that is what. That is, I will also, every time I will say, please be prepared for the shocks and surprises when you are preparing for the UPSC. UPSC always want to give the very shock things. So that is the reason you have to prepare for the shocks and surprises every time. Okay, and that too what, if you see all the questions, no question is from the NCERT. Even if you see the Lakshmikant, even he is not repeated a word from Lakshmikant. Lakshmikant from, I mean to say, Lakshmikant prepared as Bible for the polity, but not in a single term is actually taken from the polity, Lakshmikant. So his intention is very clear, and that too what, he is this year, he created very 56 pages here, highest pages. And that too he created what? He given the question, he given the question and giving the statements. And he is not asking you which is the right statement, which is the wrong statement. For these statements always and again giving the statements. Which is the inference you can take from the above statements. His intention is, some questions they covered complete one page. A single question is covering the complete one page. And he want to waste your time. He want to waste your time. He want to make you panic, frighten you. Bhayapedamane. So that is what many students not able to, completely cover the, 100 questions. Some people even done with the 91 questions, 92 questions. And many students actually not completely finished with the paper. Because of the lengthy paper, vast. One polity question completely covered the entire, one page. Even the history questions are also covered complete one page. So that is what his intention is very clear. I mean to say, he want to give the difficulty, he want to see the cutoff should be the very below, and that is the reason very randomly he selected the questions. Very randomly he selected the questions, but this thing you have to keep in mind when you are preparing for the mains. Definitely he given indication, so mains question paper will be again the toughest. How the prelims he maintained the standard, such a kind of same standard he will be going to maintain in the mains as well. Related to what? He focused on the Rigvedic age majorly. He focused on the what? Guptan age. He focused on the Sangam age. Definitely he is going to ask the same questions in the mains, and with the maintaining the same difficulty of the questions. Maintaining the same difficulty of the questions. Always UPSC have the habit, even if you want to see the future course of action, he will give you a hint now. You have to go through the hint. With the prelims paper, he given a hint. That means what? Mains question paper this year also will be the same kind of strategy, same kind of approach. So that is what you have to, this year mains should be, I think, will be the same kind of things which they maintain the standard for the prelims. So definitely randomly they will give the questions. But of course, every question is again I can say definitely with the limelight issues. With the limelight issues. So please be prepared in mind while you are preparing for the limelight issues. The same, if you see again the key lady site is in the limelight. Harappan art and architecture are going to be the light. Even in the medieval India, our Prime Minister Modi visited the Gangaikonda Cholapuram. So with respect to the modern Cholas, imperial Cholas, art and architecture will be the priority. The same temple kind of architecture you will witness. The next thing is what? Even the modern Cholas, the copper plate inscriptions which are actually taken by the Dutch people, Netherlands people, when they are colonized in India. In the advent of the Europeans, there is a chapter, right? Along with the Britishers, the Dutch people also came to India. So during that time, they left with they taken away our valuable, Chola's copper plate inscription, which was brought by the recent Prime Minister Modi visit. Our Prime Minister of India recently visited the Netherlands, and when he come back, he left to India along with those copper plate inscription related to imperial Cholas. So imperial Cholas are in the limelight, and even the Gangaikonda Cholapuram temple personally visited by the Modi, the celebration of Rajendra I birthday was grandly celebrated. grandly celebrated. And don't forget that Rashtrapati Bhavan, where the Edwin Lutyens and Harvard Baker. Edwin Lutyens is known for the builder of New Delhi. The New Delhi city was built by the Edwin Lutyens, who is considered as the architect of New Delhi, the Parliament of India, the old Parliament, present Rashtrapati Bhavan, the Secretariat, everything is built by the Edwin Lutyens only. So in the Rashtrapati Bhavan, Edwin Lutyens statue was there. The bust is nothing but what? The upper body portion. His statue was there. But recently what happened in the 3 months back, our President Draupadi Murmu, Edwin Lutyens statue was removed and C. Rajagopalachari statue was unveiled. So C. Rajagopalachari is in the limelight. So Rajaji formula, all these things. So you have to go with the limelight issues. If you see the limelight issues this year, I think 22 limelight issues are there. If you go with the 22 limelight issues, definitely I can say every question in the mains definitely you will get from these topics only, which are in the limelight, I can say. Which are in the limelight, those issues will be covered. I told you Gyan Bharat mission. In 2025 to 26 budget, there is a special mission called Gyan Bharat mission, which is related to exactly manuscripts and all. It is in the limelight. So regarding the question manuscripts, they will ask. So every question in the mains either directly or indirectly related to the linking with the current affairs. Okay, so that's what. Don't forget that first battle of Panipat. We are celebrating the 500 years of first battle of Panipat. Definitely you can say, he don't ask you about the battle of Panipat. He going to ask about the Babur. Because first battle of Panipat led to the Babur establishment of great Mughal empire in India. So question going to be asked about the Mughal empire establishment. Mughal empire, not related to the battle of Panipat. How will you write? It will be 4 lines, 5 lines. And that too with the art and culture only the syllabus is there. And next thing is what I told you right in the class. I mean to say in 1025, Muhammad Ghazni invaded the Somnath temple. Muhammad Ghazni, who is known as Bhuth Shikhan, who invaded the first Jyotirlinga of 12 Jyotirlingas of India. There are famous 12 Shaivite centers are there. Within the 12 Shaivite centers known as Jyotirlingas, the first Jyotirlinga is Somnath temple located in Gujarat. And that Somnath temple was destroyed by the Muhammad Ghazni in 1025. And within this year we are going to, it is commemorating, it is celebrating what? 1000 years. 2025 and ante 2025 means అయిపోయింది కాబట్టి they definitely going to ask this year. So 2025 it is completing the 1000 years. And as well as I told you that Somnath temple, the modern Somnath temple was built by the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in 1951. So in 1951 Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the first deputy Prime Minister of India, built the famous, the present modern Somnath temple. Point here is what? From 1951 to 2026, how many years it is completing? 75 years. 75 years. That is what? Platinum Jubilee. So that is the reason even government released a stamp, a postal stamp was released. So please be focused on these kind of areas. Definitely you get somewhat edge when compared to the other co-fellow aspirants. What they will do, just like the other things, they will also going to survey about the complete ancient Indian art and culture, medieval Indian art and culture, modern. Please select a current affairs topics and link it with the current affairs topics. Somewhat you should emphasize. You should more focus on it. So that what if you related to such kind of things, you will write more 1 or 2 extra points, which the other co-fellow aspirant don't write. You will get somewhat edge. And that is how very toughest paper of UPSC GS1 paper, you will get a very decent marks. If you are getting more 100 marks, then I mean to say 100, 105 marks in the GS1 paper, believe me, it is believed as very good marks. So that is what it is regarded as a very toughest paper in the entire UPSC GS1 paper. Okay, so that is what, please be focused on the limelight issues. Definitely it will going to give you edge and compare it to the other students. Okay, so that is what you have to adopt the strategy as well as approach with respect to the 2026 mains. So that is what the weightage and that is what the strategy you should adopt to, that is what the character you should inherit, and more importantly these kind of things you have to emphasize. Okay, any doubts? Thank you.
Excellent.